Hello, I'm Audris Mockus. This is joint work with Kotti, Gabriel, Dusing, and Diomidis Spinellis. Uh, um, we're interested in identifying so-called independent software open source projects. And we know that open source is very popular, but very little is known actually about the diversity and reach of open source, especially beyond the largest projects. And having a good enumeration of projects in there as well as people would really help as it helps countries to become more prosperous. We hope it will help open source to become more effective. And with over 100 million distinct Git repositories, the same projects are actually counted thousands and thousands of times. Our idea is to come up with an independent project that follows its own development. It's not a fork or a clone, not just created in order to make it more convenient to submit patches to the original project. So forks and clones by definition are related to their origin and among themselves and should be grouped into single project. One more thing that's very important is that commits in Git are created such a way that it's very difficult, almost impossible to create a commit with identical SHA. And so the only way they can really be shared among repositories if these would be forks or clones. So an ideal solution would be just construct a repo to commit bipartite graph and identify disconnected components, that is independent projects. And we use World of Code to do that. World of Code tutorial is described in this URL as well. There's some applications World of Code.org. And we use only one map from World of Code. It provides dozens of them. Commit to repo map. The resulting graph was huge. It had 100 billion, almost 100 billion links. And we also used for validation GHTorn, which 54 million forks, and ran some GraphQL queries with additional 2 million forks. We ran into some challenges. First, we tried to simplify the graph by dropping single repo commits, keeping only one of multiple commits linking the same set of repos, obtaining cliques on 32 partitions, and then merging these cliques together, and then using Boost Library with MPI support to increase RAM availability. And fortunately, we came up with about 14 million repos, many of them clearly not independently developed, not developed dependent on each other. A lot of them were totally what seems to be unrelated projects. And when we studied why that happened, was basically the feature of Git that allows fetching from any repo or pushing, came up with the following process to do this identification of independent projects better. First, we use explicit forks on GitHub to reduce the massive number of forks. Then we do community detection of the mapped projects. So essentially, we replace the name of original project with the ultimate fork from GitHub. And then we do an evaluation. And specifically, we found that the largest component was now about 300K instead of 14 million, and these components seem to make sense. We also did the prediction of forks that weren't in the original data set, and that worked pretty well. And we also compared our results to competing approaches and also get very similar results. So that's encouraging that this is probably a very reasonable map. We share all Git repos from GitHub, GitLab, and other datasets collected by World of Code, and the format of repository, the label of the Louvain cluster, and the label of connected components. We also produce updates for version R of World of Code data, and we used actually a modified approach where I did not use GitHub forks directly obtained from original repos. And cluster labels were repos not with the shortest name, but with the highest cat centrality. And we also